Who wants 3 easy tips to learn their drum skills faster? I know I would. Let's get into it. Okay, 3 steps to rocking some quick learning on the drums, or actually any instrument if you play something else and you happen to be watching this one. This video came about from a subscriber, and this goes out, this is for you, Gretch and Ludwig Drummer, high five you. He hit me up with a question in my comments not too long ago. And actually, I have it right here. This is what he said. I wonder how many hours and dedication it took to achieve the quality of your chops and not forgetting a natural talent you have on the drums. So initially I was going to make a video, this kind of long form video of what I do to get to a certain place. And then I started thinking about that and I go, it really comes down to, 2-3 things that I do, really. And so I decided, why don't we make this a like top 3 or 3 tips or whatnot video. By the way, stick around all the way to the end because I have a bonus tip at the end. Tip 4 if you like. And it's definitely not tip 3.5. So without further ado, let's get into that list. Here we go. Number 1, set goals. You need to be able to set a short, medium, and long-term goal for everything. And it's not that hard. This seems like something that you're like, oh my God, I can't believe I gotta make lists and all this stuff. It really isn't like that. First, get your long-term goal. You need to get your long-term goal first. And by long-term, I don't mean I just practiced 4 hours today and I still haven't got it. No. Long-term is, what are you going to do with this? Where do you expect to be with this 1, 2, 3 months, 1 year down the road? That's a long-term goal. This is nothing that's going to be accomplished really quick. And then chop that up. You need to chop that goal up into, okay, here's that long-term goal. What are all the parts of that long-term goal? And then make short-term goals that are easily accessible that you can stack on top of each other to create the long-term goal. I'm gonna make this as bluntly simple and easy as possible, but you can turn this into something grand also. Let's start with the paradiddle. Let's say that the paradiddle, and some of you are going, I can play the paradiddle, that's totally easy. The paradiddle, right, left, right, left, left, woo, who cares? But some people can't, and some people here are beginners. A lot of beginners on here, a lot of beginner into intermediates on here. So I want to start with the paradiddle. This should make my point. The paradiddle is your long-term goal. That's your long-term goal, the whole thing. Right, left, left, okay? That's your whole goal. You need to take the paradiddle and go, how does that break up? How do I break that up? Well, what is a paradiddle? It's a grouping of singles and doubles. And usually the problem is that the double becomes tricky for people when you try to back it up against the single. So make sure, short-term goal, that your singles and doubles are solid. Piece of cake. That if you really focused on just that, you should probably get this done within a week. Okay? And then you start putting them together. So work on your singles, work on your doubles. Over time, try to create the paradiddle with what you've accomplished with the singles and the doubles. Those short-term goals are successes, and a lot of times people get frustrated when they can't get something done right away. Hence, people take the paradiddle, they try to play the paradiddle, and it stinks over and over because you haven't focused on what's wrong with the paradiddle. You're just playing a group of notes that have a certain sticking pattern and you hope to get it. And over time you will. But what I'm saying is start with the basics. Start with what the paradiddle is made of. Accomplish those goals and then put it together. That will make the paradiddle easier much quicker. Now take this idea and put it to like a solo. Say you have a snare drum solo, a rudimental snare drum solo, or a concert snare drum solo. So you're playing through it and you get stuck somewhere, chop it up. The solo is your long-term goal. Where are your problems? And focus on those parts of the solo in each rehearsal section. Work on that. Small accomplishments aimed at the big goal. Number 2 is frequent, smaller practice sessions. This is I can't stress this enough. It is so much better to get at least 10 minutes in 5 days a week than to wait until whatever day and try to get an hour and a half in and then try to perform something. It doesn't work that way. You need to use shorter sessions more times a week. I hope and pray that the majority of my students spend 5 days a week, 15 to 30 minutes, and that will do so much more for them than one big, gigantic, long session. You just don't function that way. Okay? So, step 2, frequent, shorter practice sessions that are focused on your goals. Okay? Focused on your goals. Short-term goals is kind of warm up and technique builders to put with your long-term goal at the end of your practice session. That's how it works. Number 3, this is a mental tip. Stop comparing yourself to other people. The only person that you need to compare yourself with is you. I used to get stuck in a place where I would see all these great drummers, Dave Weckl, Buddy Rich, my hero Steve Smith, Vinnie Colaiuta, currently Benny Greb, Annika Niles. These people that can outplay me hands down. And many years ago, I would get in these ruts where I'm just like, I will never ever accomplish what they've ever done. And then I would be comparing myself to them. The only person you can compare yourself to is you. So that mental block is making everything slow down. You start not accomplishing things. You start, because you didn't get it done, you throw it to the side and you're just like, okay, so I'm just gonna put that over there for a while. Maybe someday down the road I'll be good enough to try that again. No, the only way you're gonna be good enough to try that again is to take that concept, make it your long-term goal, break it up into smaller goals, fix those smaller goals in your frequent small sessions of practice, and then you become better at it, okay? Now, I do think that you need to take people, like said Dave Weckl, Annika Niles, Buddy Rich, Achilles Priester, anybody like that. I do think you need to take those people and make them your targets. Look at them and go, okay, I want to be inspired by them. I need inspiration by them, but never compare yourself to them. Don't ever compare yourself to them. Okay? Use them as a target, use them as inspiration, but get it out of your head that you need to be equal to them or anything. Use them as inspiration. Look in the mirror and go, you're the guy. You're the one that I have to beat. Okay? Mentally, you're the one that I have to beat. All right, folks, if you're getting something out of this video, I would really appreciate it if you take that less than half of a second and tap that like button. It really does help me out. And now, on to the bonus tip. And bonus tip is this. Folks, get yourself a notebook, a ledger, something, okay? Something for your practice sessions. I can't tell you how much this has helped me out. In it, I'll show you what all it is. You know, I've got one. You know, it's a notebook, okay? And you just, you know, put practice. You're practicing in it. What are you doing? Write down what you're doing. Write down what it is. Write down basically what's your goal? What's your long-term goal? Then write down what did you practice that day and how did you practice it? Maybe what was your metronome marking? Maybe you were, let's take the paradiddle again. You want to get the paradiddle. Write down paradiddle. Write down the date. You always want a date on this. Write down the date, paradiddle. Write down, worked on singles at such and such a tempo. Worked on getting my doubles at such and such a tempo. Put them together. Not where I really want it. The next day, paradiddle, date, paradiddle, same idea, and then start watching your progress. The reason it's important is because sometimes this seems like it takes a while, like you don't understand how fast you actually are accomplishing things. So you can look at your journal and go, whoa, look at what I just did. I just accomplished all this stuff over 5 rehearsals. Monday through Friday. Monday, I really wasn't feeling it. Tuesday, I still wasn't quite feeling it. Wednesday, there's a spark. We got better. You saw it in your journal. By Friday, you're much better. Now think about this. Over the course of a month, over the course of a year, you look back at your journal and you're going to start realizing that if you put these tips and tricks together, how quickly you are accomplishing things. You're never going to get it all. You need to find out what it is you need to work on. Is it for a gig? Is it just because you want to try, you saw Vinnie Colaiuta do something on the drum kit and you want to work on that and you finally accomplished it? Put that in the journal. Put that in writing with dates. Make sure that you put down what tempo you started at. Watch how those small things are actually huge accomplishments. Okay, again, it's kind of a mental thing. We can go back to the mental part of this. You can look at it and go, I am accomplishing something. Because believe me, when you don't do it, it can really seem like you have you really have no reference as to how much you are accomplishing in how much time. So, bonus tip, folks, get yourself a journal, write in it, use it every single time. It takes almost no time to write down. I think this is a huge tip right here. Huge bonus. All right, so there's 3 tips and a bonus. I hope you got something out of this. Again, hit that like button if you don't mind. In the comments section, what are tips that you could offer up to other people that might watch this? What are some tips put them down in the comments? What do you like to do? How do you like to move forward in your practicing? What makes you learn something quickly on the drums, whether it's drum set, whether it's mallet instruments, marimba, xylophone, whatever, timpani, concert snare drum, rudimental snare drum, drum line, whatever. Put it down in the comments section. What helps you? What are some tips so that we can get that out to other people? And folks, if you like it, please hit the subscribe button, like it, share the video to anybody that might be interested. And until the next video, which is going to be on is there a perfect snare drum? This one's for you, Anthony N. You've been asking for this forever. Anthony N, this one is for you. It's coming up in the next week. Yeah, is there a perfect snare drum? And if there is, what is it? Okay, folks, outside of that, we will talk to you later. Have a great end of 2022, and we will see you in the next video in 2023. Have a good one, folks. Take care.